Welcome back to the Michael D Show. I'm your host, Michael D. Butler, in the Beyond Publishing Studios today. And the exciting part about my job is I get to interview interesting guests from all over the world. These doctors from New York have written a breakthrough book based on their clinical practice and their years of helping patients. The title of the book is Sex in the City, and Dr. Natalya Fazylova and Dr. Arkady Lipnitsky had written a book that's actually a fiction book, but it's based on stories of patients they've been able to help over the years. So I'm really excited to welcome the doctors into the Michael D studio and say, doctors, thanks for joining us today. Congratulations on the book.
Hi, Michael.
Good morning.
Now, how long have y'all been thinking about doing a book, and why did you write a fiction book?
Well, I published my first book a few years back in 2016. So the idea, and I enjoyed the process, so much information to share. And we've been thinking about writing the book. We just didn't know what format it should take. And would like to first talk a little bit of what we do in the clinic. We have a rebalance clinic in Manhattan, and we focus on sexual wellness aspect, among other things, for our clients. So we notice a trend of clients that have a sexual dysfunction or sexual wellness issues. They were hesitant to talk about it. The topic was embarrassing for some people, and felt like there is need to let people know that it's okay, that they're not the only one. And the main thing is we're there to help them. So that book, that thought, that idea about that book was there. And then once we met you, Michael, kind of you help us to form and shape that idea to write a book. So book, which is Sex in the City, yes, it's possible. It's an opening statement to help people talk about it, to let them know that hope and help is there, and to help people enjoy their life.
Well, best-selling author Madison Malloy says sex gets personal in a hurry. Sexual wellness doctors Natalya and Arkady have written one brilliant book. Madison Malloy, best-selling author of Sweet Lips, Georgia. And I just wanted to read what you put on the back. It's far more normal than you think. Everyday people are working their way towards sexual wellness. Sex in the City is a collection of stories inspired by your patients overcoming their sexual challenges, improving their relationships, and enjoying their lives to the fullest. Your best days of intimacy and fulfillment are ahead. Welcome to Sex in the City. Well, my question for you today is how prevalent are, and by the way, congratulations for finally getting this book out for those of us that have questions like this but are afraid to ask. How prevalent are sexual problems and dysfunctions?
Well, they are very prevalent. As a matter of fact, I believe it's, for most of us, it's a normal aging process. And at some point, and better later than sooner, but at some point of our lives, we all will be challenged or at least facing the truth that we need to do some upkeeping and do something about improvement of our sexual abilities. Because for majority of people, even though the topic is somewhat a taboo, and a lot of people do not like to discuss with the, even loved ones or friends or family or even medical providers, the fact that they have a dysfunction or they have, certain weaknesses they would like to correct. The topic touches everybody, and by the way, it touches just as many women and it touches men. So allowing people to through the fictional stories allow people to see that the change is possible and the change is really real, and it's really not the far-fetched ideas. The processes that were introduced already years ago are working for so many people that finding ways to recover from certain dysfunctions and get back to enjoy their sexual life, and making their relationships stronger and making their the partnerships and families keeping them together outside of taking pills and doing surgeries and doing different injections, but holistically, naturally, and and functionally. And the rebalance, as Natalya mentioned, it's a space of functional medicine, and functional medicine is very different from conventional by really targeting the true root causes of the problems. And the sexual dysfunctions are not any different from anything else we touch. We're finding the reason why, and usually they're very similar from people to, from different people. The reasons why we become weaker in the sexual department, like I said, both men and women. And there are very simple, often ways that we can modify not only our lifestyles, but also certain very mild and holistic treatments that we can seek, both in and outside of the office, that can help us not only to improve the sexual abilities, but really to start enjoying significantly better.
Well, you're really giving people their life back. I turned 55 last week, and I've actually met a lot of your patients, being in New York a number of times, and you're always hosting events at your clinic. And it's just amazing. I'm glad that you touched on conventional versus functional medicine. I mean, what happens for somebody, maybe a guy is taking Viagra and over a period of time, why should he consider, seeing you and talking about natural or more holistic approaches?
Well, like any other medication, if you're seeking just to treat the symptoms, you will really never get to the point of recovery. Through the functional approach, we're looking to get you to the point of recovery. And yes, it means to restore your proper erection if it comes to a man by restoring your vascularization, which is, in 85% of the cases, that's the aging process. And if we can restore the vascular component and fully allow your body to become erected without you popping.
Everybody wants the fountain of youth, right?
Isn't
You
that
want to be young again.
Like a real solution?
Well, do these sexual problems affect men and women the same, or are they different?
Percentage-wise, they probably almost equal.
Oh,
the
wow.
problem is, though, not everybody talks about it. So
Right.
males probably are a little bit more proactive about it, and plus they have a Viagra as a solution. As for females, we consider it as part of aging. We feel like we're getting older probably, and don't necessarily feel that there's anything needs to be done about it. So yes, the problem is there for both. And when we wrote a book, we tried to use our clients as a prototype for our characters, even though it's a fictional book. We didn't.
You changed their names, right?
Yeah, we definitely changed the name. We changed the plot. We changed what they do, so they're unrecognizable for HIPAA regulation. But we tried to convey emotions and struggles and thoughts and relationship issues that these people go through when they have those problems. And as whoever reads our book, we will see there's different age group, there's different social economic status where people come from when this problem. There's no difference. The problem is there. It needs to be fixed. So as what important for males, as much as important for females.
Well, I love this. Some of the chapter titles are frustrations, confrontations, first time, realizations, confessions. What kind of feedback have you been getting? Because I know talking with some of your clients and being at some of your events, the feedback has been pretty incredible. What is the most rewarding thing for you in this line of work when you work with patients and you really save their marriages, you save their relationships, they get their youth back? What's the most rewarding part for you both?
Well, aside from hearing thank you from both partners, seeing the joy and giving them hope, because some people come in and they're at the point there's no hope, like there's nothing else that we could do. That's what I have to live with for the rest of my life, and that's definitely not the case. And a lot of situation we're able to help them to overcome the problem and continue enjoying their life.
RebalanceNYC.com. Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Lipnitsky. What were you going to say there?
Remember this, one of the recent stories. We had this wonderful couple that was traveling to us from Boston, and of course, he came as a patient, and she would be very supportive wife, really supportive. She would come with him every time, and she decided to become a patient too, realizing that She has some issues as well that she would like to address and fix. And it was pretty short period from the point of beginning of the treatment. I would say probably within 4 to 6 weeks. They came one day, and I was asking him how we're doing, and he just did this gestures, like pointed to ask my wife, and I looked at her, and she kind of like jumped and gave me this huge hug and said, like, thank you so much. That, that's what reward is. It's really to see how you can bring back joy of the relationship and closeness to the couple. And apparently it was certain problems that we were able to help both of them with.
Dr. Natalya Fazylova and Dr. Arkady Lipnitsky, best-selling authors of Sex and the City. It's available everywhere now. Dr. Natalya, hold up your book. I know you're about sold out there in New York, and you've got hardcovers, you've got paperbacks. The ebook and the audiobook is launching soon. When you go to rebalancenyc.com, this is a state-of-the-art, it's 635 Madison Avenue medical facility. Your path to longevity, sexual wellness, aesthetics, integrative wellness. They're going to educate you on the holistic approach. Their book, Sex and the City, is available there. They've got tremendous press. They've been featured in People Magazine, Shape Mag, Global. Why their business and their techniques, their education is so powerful. You truly can be young again. Go look them up. Prevention Magazine recommends them, and they are just everywhere you want to be. As people are living longer and we're aging, don't neglect this part of your life. And I'm so glad you wrote fiction. I really think this is the type of book that could be optioned for a movie. What's next for both of you now that the book is out? And I know you're available for speaking and media interviews, podcasts. What's the best way for people to get a hold of you and book you on their podcast?
They could reach out to us through our website, send us a message, or call the office. So we're always available. And we would be glad to offer more help and share our knowledge and share our expertise and let people start talking about sexual wellness.
Well, I think this is gifts for your running group, for your Pilates groups, for your aerobics or your Zumba classes. Buy these for the ladies. And I say buy it for men and women too as gifts, right? Give it to your clients. If you're a nutrition coach or a weight loss coach, or you coach clients on mindset or well-being or any of those transformational topics of self-improvement, buy a box of these books, because this is a fun read. And I say women because women read 90% of the books, but certainly you can buy it for the men in your life that are helping women get better, think better, and be stronger. So I want to thank you both for being with us today. And we're definitely going to have you back on the podcast to do a longer interview, a longer deep dive. What closing words would you say to somebody that maybe they're struggling? They've been in a relationship for a lot of years, but the love life is not clicking like it used to be. What's the first step?
It all starts with a conversation. Take that taboo out of this conversation. There's nothing wrong with sharing your feelings, sharing your concerns, and speaking to a specialist that is here to help you, not feed you pills, not feed you some quick solutions, but really listen to you, connect dots together, and give you a recovery process.
Well, the doctors have been in the house today on the Michael D Show, and I know you've piqued people's interest, and I know this is going to be on reading list of women everywhere, and you just got some amazing stories in here. So congratulations for going #1 on Amazon. Friends, you can buy it on barnesandnoble.com, Chapters, Books A Million, anywhere books are sold around the world. Just type in Sex and the City and Dr. Natalya and Dr. Lipnitsky's names. They'll pop up everywhere. Or what's even better is go to rebalancenyc.com. See what they do in New York. My closing question as we wrap up this interview, are you able to treat patients and consult with patients all over the world, or do they need to be in the Big Apple?
We do provide a telemedicine consultation, and to get physical treatments, obviously they would need to come to the office, but we offer consultation on everything else, where to get the supplements, assess their needs, do some testing. That could be done through telemedicine. And at least we will help you to find the reason behind their problems. And if we can help them ourselves, we have a network of providers where we could direct them to that could help them locally.
This is a great gift for Mother's Day, for Father's Day, for the loved one in your life. Buy it for people you care about, because it could transform their relationship. And yes, it is possible. Sex in the City. Thanks, doctors, for being with us today on the Michael D Show, where we interview amazing authors from around the world who are changing the world one book at a time. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Michael.